beautiful souls. Hello, beautiful souls. The Arcturians have been coming around, and I'm happy they are here for the last week, maybe longer. And it's just time to get busy. It's just time to move forward in a direction that is uncomfortable. And know that if you're trusted and guided by that through your inner guidance, your team of some nudge that you keep getting a reminder about, push it through, make it happen. Trust that everything behind you, in you, and around you is where it needs to be. And when you're not feeling that secure in being in that uncomfortable space, ask your team to hold space for you. It can really make things happen. So I will move forward by bringing in the Arcturians as they're around here, flowing and glowing, shifting all kinds of goodness in their magic of goodness in all that they are. So here I go. Oh, dear ones, we are the Arcturians. We come about to bring many direct, insightful, loving, and they're laughing. They say you could call them affirmations. You could call them divine messages, but we're gonna just say we call them the magical presence of, and they're spelling it, and they want me to spell it for you. TRUTHS. Truce. Truce at the core, truce at the mind, truce at the heart, truce at the spirit, truce at the physical balance, truth of all that is through the consciousness of what is in the moment. Truth. You can't not like that word. You can't not like that vibration. It just is. It's the medicine that speaks to all of you, all of everything around you. And it's funny because we laugh so much because that's the only way we can balance you in that 3D perspective. This no longer is the presentation of anyone's life, anyone's experience to flow in. You are amping up and it may not feel good. It may feel so uncomfortable that you're ready to just sit back in a hole and just stay in that dark place until it's all over. But we have surprises for you. There is no way to get out of this by hiding. And we say that with pure kindness, but we like it. And we love it because we see the ambition of light that you are, that you have, and that you can help unify in all the connections of oneness that we all are. You, I, me, you, his, her, all those identities of whatever that is, has one pure connection. And that connection is the light of thyself from the center and the core of that soul, that heart. When you connect with that heart light, the glorified unity of what you are to who you are and what you become through that activation is what truth is. When we say seek within, this is what we mean. We mean you communicate only through that vibration of that purest light that has no judgment, that has no consequences, because that is direct communication from heaven, that you communicate with another soul through that elevation of a communication. That's the communication. The relationships you are found profoundly in that unity of communication is directly enlightened for your highest good in that interaction of that individual who is in that highest good. Your path of what leads you no other direction, but in a happy direction, in a loving direction, in a pure, joyful direction. So, I got very excited because I just see it and glorified and see the unified elevations of all these connections. And lo and behold, we have heaven on earth, bridging in all that is in the oneness of one. Very excited here to come forward through this lovely individual. I'm going to take a little bit of water because very excited energy. Oh. Okay. So we'll clarify this insight. As you seek within, that is your internal GPS. That is the internal GPS that leads you into all the answers of where you're being guided. So if you're being guided to take a course, that is your direction. You don't second guess it because you know that is a presentation of what is going to be guided for you in your highest good for your purpose. When you meet an individual and they just connect with you like you've been interacting with them for eons, that is a soul relationship. That is a divine relationship. That is the goodness of glory. You are magnetized to all this goodness around you because that is the clarity of communication you are guided with. You have internal guidance that gives you the wisdom to flow with that direction. That doesn't make you superior or empowered because you don't have that vision. You don't have that vibration. You don't have the insights that the human mind puts on you. You trust it. You be it. You are that isness. That is all that we want to you, for you, through you. Because then your life sees only joy. Your life sees compassion. Your life is joyful in the happiness of all that is, without the mundane academics, the mundane troublesomes of worries, the mundane long hours of working, the mundane obvious impacts that put you on a responsibility and obligation that is just illusionary. The internal GPS opens up the internal wisdom that is infinite in the interactions that you are here to experience. This book, I'm no longer going to read it to gain knowledge. I'm just going to read it to see what I can play with in this moment in life. It attracted me. Let's see what we're going to do as we play through the verbiage of these words. You feel the verbiage. I just got what I needed. This no longer interests me. I shall move on. I am craving some mint tea. I'm going to give myself the love and the kindness through acting through this presentation of an insight. This is your GPS, because lo and behold, that minty, watery, yummy, delicious tea is going to savor you, but it's also going to implement some shifts in certain elements of you. It's going to give you more than you could ever imagine by following that internal GPS. Excuse me. I just got an email from an associate. There's a lovely interaction. We just signed a contract to build a unity of an academy. And lo and behold, we have a wait list of individuals that are going to apply for this. My job just became so insightful on how I can change these interactions of what seem to be stressful and unfriendly to a more abundant, fulfilled presentation of joy. These are all examples. You may call it silly, you may call it ridiculous, but guess what? It's gonna come and it is gonna be, because when you seek within, all that you glorify and channel through us becomes a higher impersonation, as one would say, of what heaven is here on earth. Purpose becomes magical, becomes a blessing, because this is the insightful path that you are guided without that naughtiness of a self-doubt, the trust that so many of you distrust in you when you feel guided. This is a direct insight of moving in with clarity, so that all that is truly in a higher presentation of a higher vibration. The mystical presentations of what you read, who you channel, bring into this moment of what is the now. Our history brought us so much. Some of the channelers that you bring in through Einstein and Tesla, and I say that because they're present here with this dear one who is on their team, who's part of her team. And it isn't their scientific presentation of what they brought in the past. It's what they can bring in the moment of now to present what humanity is calling for this very minute. They're gifts that brought humanity in that moment of when they were really acknowledged, brought in what we have funneled in to a presentation of now. And now they are here to represent a higher classification of what is needed. Dear ones, you can ricochet every direction you want, but you will not understand the unconditional love until you're truly connected with your higher self. And when we say your higher self, the mighty I am presence, as you say it in a higher vibration of choosing, that is the fundamental of everything that you bring through clarity in channeling us. Because this is a presentation of you from one lifetime to another. That is the essence of what has everything connected into what is. The highest good of that, plus your team, really present a profound gift in that alignment. You will understand the true unconditional love as you seek this direction. It's a skill set that takes practice, just like channeling takes practice, just like driving a car takes practice, just like reading. But some things come easier than others. And that's where you present your gifts. When certain things become easier than others, that's the direction of insight you take, because that's where you're guided. Well, true and behold, you're following that intuition. But that intuition is guided by, guess what? Your higher self, your mighty I am presence, the sovereignty of your beingness that provides all the clarities for the so-called dissolving of the past to lead you in a higher presentation of the so-called future, but in the now moment that brings you the highest choice of every choice that you make in this experience of a lifetime. You chose to be here in this moment, so this would be the presentation that you bring forward. Many people will really ignite and fire up some people's blessings. Others will second guess and react through an infusion of fuss and fear. But either way, it is a neutral stepping stone into a higher good. All glorified moments are when you act through your inner course of action to be all that you are, so that you, when you present through us for humanity, as a channeler, as a medium, however choosing of calling you are to be, it becomes unfathomable on what you have to be in the isness of what we feel and are for you. The unconditional love that speaks the internal wisdom, that ignites the light codes, the activations, the attunements of all that is into a higher vibration of you. As you move forward into the fourth, the fifth, and so forth, into those dimensions, this is the clarity that is needed. You cannot, and this dear one, yes, thank you. You cannot move forward without that understanding, without that clarity as a milestone of a foundation. Where you go with this becomes unrecognizable, but in a communication that puts you in a unique spot to help humanity, to help Mother Earth, to help all that is in such a unique way. Each one of these you souls are gifted in a unique way to proclaim different shifts. Some will impact the world in a monumental way. Some will be the presentation of such a foundation of love for their family that will ignite different directions, that will really be the pleasing point for all that is in that moment. Either way, we need you, but we need you in this action, in this alignment, in order for all of us to really be that divine, clear communication at every given moment. You are never alone. You are never not guided. It is just the mind that blocks you from truly feeling the conversations in a deeper version of an insight. Your higher self knows that. It sources out it with a direct insight. You have to ground that relationship, because then the free choice and choose again doesn't happen. This is the monumental onset, because we can't intervene without you asking. We cannot be that source of action for you without asking. Your mighty I am presence, your higher self, as each of you call in direct source of your calling, is the action, is in your highest good, and can take action in every given moment. And that free will doesn't become a distraction. It just is. We will continue with this, dear one, with more to say. But at this moment, we feel like, and we know, because the feelings have ricocheted a few little chords. Do not take it upon any individual. Look within you. If this interaction hit a chord, distracted you, moved you in a different direction, caused you to feel distractions like you wouldn't believe in certain relationships that were brought up that you didn't think even existed, congratulate yourself. Because these are monumental shifts that will dissolve because you have surrendered into a different acknowledgement. And no, those are areas that you need to bring into an attention, into a matter of insight, to dive deeper in, so that you can relinquish those burdens that are holding you back from truly being that phenomenal GPS of all that is. God, power, spirit is what we mean by GPS. Much, much, much delight for this moment in interaction as more will come forward.